And we are back. Power Rankings, Week 8 edition. And starting out at number 32, the worst team, got the Detroit Lions. They're going to be dropping down 3 spots. They're currently 1-5. Lions, they lost to the Cowboys 24-6. Honestly, wasn't that big of a loss. They kept it close majority of the game, and then the Cowboys pulled away in the fourth. So very respectable by the Lions to keep it close with them the whole game. Unfortunately, you weren't able to pull out the win, and unfortunately, all the teams below you managed to get wins. So you're now the next team. Just like the Lions, on how all teams below them except the Lions got a win. At number 31, we have the Texans. They're going to be going down 3 spots as well, 1-4-1. They were unable to defeat the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders were just too much for the Texans. The Texans scored a decent amount, but ultimately their defense wasn't able to keep up with that Raiders offense, which led to the Raiders dropping 38 points compared to the Texans' 20. I'm not a believer in you. There's rumors about Brandon Cooks being traded, which is only going to hurt you even more. And at the moment, the best bright spot is Dameon Pierce. And that's not a great thing when... Nothing wrong with Dameon Pierce. I have him on my fantasy team. But when your best player is a rookie 4th-round running back, that's like the most high player you have, it's not great. Number 30, we have the Jaguars. They're going to be dropping down 4 spots. Yeah, they were, I believe, a yard away from defeating the New York Giants. They lose 23-17. They were winning majority of the game. It was a very close game throughout, but ultimately the Giants were able to hold on by a yard. The Jaguars, I still believe in you guys. I think you guys are a fine team. I think you guys, are better than what your record says, but you gotta win these games that are close. Number 29, we have the Broncos. They're going down 2 spots. Broncos, guess what? They lost 16-9. I don't know if you can tell, but 9 points. I didn't watch the game, but I'm assuming 9 points means 3 field goals. And that's another game where the Broncos didn't score a touchdown. You played the Jets, who is a great team. You got guys like Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, Bryce Hall. Got some solid guys over there. But you weren't able to put up points. Your defense has done so well, but your offense just can't do anything to where you lose in these very close, slow-scoring games every week. You would be one of the best teams in the league, hands down. You'd be like the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, if your offense would just have the slightest spark. Cowboys, electric defense. Offense could use some work, but it's good enough because they have a good defense. If you could just be like the Cowboys, you'd be amazing. 28, we have the Saints. They're going to be dropping down 3 slots. Unable to pick up the win on Thursday night against the Cardinals. 42-34 was the final score. Granted, that score is baloney. The Saints scored a bunch of garbage time points and weren't able to come back with the win. Andy Dalton from 2 pick sixes. It's very clear to see that Andy Dalton is not going to be your solution. I still think Jameis Winston is better than what he's been playing. He's been playing injured. I think you give a healthy Jameis Winston a shot, he's going to show you that he is a starting quarterback in this league. And in my opinion, you have a great defense. If you have it healthy, you have Cam Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore. I forget his name. The middle linebacker. I don't know how. I forget this guy's name. Demario Davis. You have a great defense. You just need to do stuff with it. Your offense can't get anything going. I'm pretty sure it's coming towards the end of the Michael Thomas era. I think you want to get him out of there because he's not performing well there and you're paying him a crap ton of money. And ultimately, you're going to have to just start brand new. Chris Olave, he's a key part. But he's the only real guy I feel confident in for keeping long term besides Deontay Hardy. But he's not really a wide receiver. He's a return man. Marquez Callaway. I think is a solid guy, but I don't think he's starter. Traquan Smith, once again, solid guy. I don't think he's starter. You have to revamp this offense. The defense is fine. Revamp the offense, and you will be competing once again. 27, we have your division friends, the Falcons. They're going to go down 4 spots. You weren't able to beat the Bengals. It's okay. I'm pretty sure no one expected you to, but no one expected Joe Burrow to put 500 yards and 4 touchdowns on your head. No one expected that. Granted, the only excuse you have is you didn't have AJ Terrell, which is a pretty good excuse. I think he's a top 10 quarterback, arguably. But that's just life. That's the game. You have to find ways to scheme and get your team going without these key players, or else you're not going to be competing. You're the Falcons. The issue with the Falcons is I feel like every year you guys don't really compete, but you're not getting a top 5 pick. You're getting a round the 10th pick usually every year because you're going like 7 and 10, 8 and 9. You have to either tank or you have to compete. And you just aren't doing either. Number 26, once again, another division rival. The Panthers are going to be going up 6 spots. You know why? Because they beat the Buccaneers. They beat Tom Brady. They destroyed them with no other than P.J. Walker. 21 points compared to the 3 points. Very good game. That makes that whole South Division very close. None of them have a winning record. That's saying something. You lose Robbie Anderson. You lose Christian McCaffrey. And you arguably have your best offensive game of the season against a pretty good defense with guys like Antoine Winfield, Lavonte David, Devin White, Jamel Dean, Sean Murphy Bunting. The list goes on and on. Good job, Panthers. 25, we have the Steelers. They're going to be dropping down a spot. Unable to pick up the win against the Dolphins on Sunday night. They lose 16-10. I don't think Kenny Pickett's ready to start yet. He has 1 touchdown to 7 interceptions. You have to let Mitch Trubisky start. You have to go into this season knowing you are not going to compete. Your O-line is in shambles. Your receivers are not doing anything special. Deontay Johnson, going back to the old Deontay Johnson, not being able to catch the football. Chase Claypool has been quiet. George Pickens, well, I mean, he's good, but you have to. Mike Tomlin, I understand you probably don't want to win a losing season. You're first in what is this, your 9th year or something? But you have to realize you could have a losing season, but you guys have a potential franchise quarterback and you're throwing him into the fire very early on. Sounds like a lot of quarterbacks I know. Sam Darnold got drafted 3rd overall. He didn't work out. You know why? Because he got thrown into the fire instantly. Your division rival, Johnny Manziel, didn't work out. Got thrown into the fire. You have to let Pickett sit, learn behind Trubisky for at least a year. Then you can have a QB competition in year 2. When your team's going to be better, you're probably going to invest a bit into the O-line. Your defense is already great. You got Minkah Fitzpatrick, Devin Bush, although he's been great. Terrell Edmonds, I believe. I don't remember Tremaine Terrell, one of the Edmonds. Cam Hayward, although he's probably not going to be here much longer. You're going to get TJ Watt back soon. You have a great defense. You just need to, sit back a year, get a good pick, invest in an O-line or a weapon or receiver, probably even maybe a cornerback, and you'll be good to go. 24, I just spent like so long talking about Steelers. We have the Commanders. We are 9 minutes in. Jesus. Commanders, they pick up the win against my Packers, 23-21. Ultimately, it just came down to how they played. Taylor Heinicke looked abysmal early on, and then he turned on the Jets, and ultimately that was enough to get him to win. So, good on the Commanders. There's literally not much to say. That game was very boring. 23, we have the Bears. They're going to be jumping up 8 spots. Commanders jump up 7 spots, by the way. Bears, on Monday night, pick up a huge 33-14 win against the Patriots. Can you blame them? The Bears needed a win. They go up against Mac Jones. No, Mac Jones get benched after the second drive. Bailey Zappi, absolutely destroy him. Here's the issue. Well, I'll talk about that with the Patriots, actually. But the Bears, you guys look great that game. If you can continue doing that, you guys probably won't be competing this year, but definitely next year. Fields will be in his third year. He'll probably be even better than he is now. 22, we got the Browns. They're going to be going down a spot. You lose 23-20 against the Ravens because Cade York's kick got blocked. Cade York has missed his last few kicks. It's sad. He was perfect going into last week, and now he's in shambles. You guys are doing fine, though. You're 2-5. You've lost very close games, and the games that haven't been close have been against good teams. And your quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. Calm down. You guys are fine. I hope Deshaun Watson's good because he gave up all that capital. So, yeah. 21, we got the Buccaneers. Down 7. Who would have thought? After losing 21-3 against the Panthers, you'd be plummeting all the way down. Tom Brady ain't looking great. Is his name Todd Bowles or something? The head coach. Does not look very good. Mike Evans just drops an early touchdown pass that probably would have kept the Buccaneers at least in the game because of momentum. You guys have looked horrible. And you know who else has? The Packers. They're going down 2 spots. These two teams here, these are probably the last 2 quarterbacks. These are probably the last 2 quarterbacks, from their era. And they haven't looked great, and that's concerning. I think both of them will bounce back. I think both of them will, The only issue is these teams have the rosters. They just need to scheme for, the team. And if they can do that, I think they'll be back. Numero 19, speaking of the Patriots, they're going to be dropping down 5 spots. The issue with the Patriots is, you guys thought Bailey Zappi was your future. He goes out and plays against the Bears, does horrible. And now it looks like Mac Jones, he said that he's out. The sidelines caught it. He was out. He's done. I wouldn't blame him if he requested a trade. He is a starting caliber quarterback, in my opinion. I felt like he rushed his injury. I felt like he should have returned next week instead of this week. Or the week after if they have a bye. I don't know. But point is, I felt like he shouldn't have played today or yesterday's game. And that's going to ultimately be a potential bad thing. You bench him, not showing any confidence in your first-round quarterback. You're showing confidence in the fourth-round guy who didn't look all too impressive after that game. And I wouldn't be shocked if Mac Jones requests a trade. And I wouldn't be shocked if he was a potential generational talent for peanuts. We saw James Robinson get traded to the Jets for a conditional 6. Could be a 5th. It sucks. Number 18, we have the Colts. They're going to be going down 2 spots. I don't even know why I have you high. I don't. You lose 19-10 against the Titans, which fair enough. I mean, it's kind of a close game. But you're benching Matt Ryan for the remainder of the season for Sam Ehlinger? The only reason I can have any reason to believe you would be doing this is to tank. Or Frank Wright is desperate to save his job, and he's trying anything at this point. And I can't blame him. I think putting Sam Ehlinger in is not the worst thing in the world. You're probably going to lose a lot of games. You're probably going to fire Frank Reich at the end of the year. And then you're probably going to have a whole new, chapter to your book. A whole new quarterback. I think you'll probably get a quarterback this draft. I think there's a few guys. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. I don't remember his name. It's like Will Lewis. Kentucky guy. I believe Anthony Richardson, if he's in the draft, is a great guy. You have 4 guys. I think you could easily get one of them. And finally end that quarterback cycle. 17, we have the Hawks. They're going to be going at 5 spot. The Seahawks, by the way, not the Atlanta Hawks. It's crazy to believe that you guys got 3 first-round picks. Noah Fant, Shelby Harris. And you're doing well. You're 4-3 while the Broncos are 2-5. They're a bottom 10 team in the league. You're looking great all of a sudden. You're winning with Geno Smith. And you're doing it in decent fashion, beating solid teams like the Cardinals, the Chargers. Saying a lot. So, it looks to me like you guys are only going to get better because you're kind of competing for the playoffs as it speaks because the NFC is a shit house. And you're going to have great draft picks if the Broncos continue to play the way they're going. So you're only going to get better. You're going to get generational talents early in the draft, and you're an already good team. Number 16, we have the Raiders. They're going to be jumping up 4 spots. They pick up the win against the Texans. Played very well. Josh Jacobs really showing. And yeah, I think the Raiders are starting to show some flame. Granted, I don't think they're going to do a whole lot with Josh McDaniel. I think it's a waste of, talent in terms of roster because of the coach. But, you're Raiders. Must be used to it at this point. Felt like you had another head coach who I'm not going to name due to what he is known for now, who held you back. Great roster, and you always went like 7-9 every year. 15, we have the Cardinals. Also, he got paid 10 years, $100 million. 15, we have the Cardinals. They're going up 4 spots. They pick up a great win against the Saints on Thursday night. Defense looked electric. Offense looked like it was going to finally show some flashes with DeAndre Hopkins back. You guys are only going to get better from here, I feel like. And in a wild NFC, I think playoffs are definitely an option. 14, we have the Jets. They're going to be improving 3 spots. I'm starting to get on this Jets hype train. I'm starting to. They now defeat the Broncos. Granted, it's the Broncos, But there's 5-2. I'm pretty sure this playoff or the season ended today, they'd be in the playoffs. The Jets could be a legit team. They're probably not going to do a whole lot in the playoffs if they do make it. But I guarantee you, probably next year, they're going to be on fire. And we're going to have the New York teams. Or the Jersey teams. For those of you who get, triggered. I literally saw on Twitter so many Jets and Giants fans were getting so annoyed because, people are saying they're from Jersey. Mainly it's, Buffalo fans who are like, oh, but you guys are all the way over there. You're more of a Canada team than a New York team. It don't matter. They're actually in the state of New York. 13, we have the Niners. They're going to be dropping down a few spots. 3 to be exact. Ooh, hold on. We have an error. I have them written down as 4-3. They're actually 3-4. Let me fix that. But anyway, they lose to the Chiefs, which is fine. It's the Chiefs. Christian McCaffrey looked good in his debut, in my opinion. I think you guys are going to be fine. You just played a great team. 12, Titans. They're going to be jumping up a few spots as well. Specifically 3. They're 4-2. Pick up the win against the Colts. They're now in the division with, I believe, probably 2 games now or so. I think the Titans, are showing. It's every year, in my opinion, with the Titans, and I'm one of those people. But I'm probably going to stop now. Everyone clowns on the Titans. Oh, they suck. And then they go make the playoffs. They get a pretty good seed, and everyone's like, oh, maybe the Titans are legit. And then they lose in the playoffs almost immediately. We saw it. And then they're like, oh, the Titans are trash. Ugh. It happens every season. And I'm a part of it, but I'm starting to believe now in the Titans. Number 11, we have the Chargers. They're going to be rounding out the non-top 10 teams. Down 4 spots, they lose to the Seahawks. Ultimately, with the Chargers, they did fine. It was just they started out very bad, and they just couldn't, catch up to the Seahawks. That's all it was. Number 10, we have the Dolphins. They are back, baby, up 2 spots. They pick up a 16-10 win in Tua's return against the Seahawks, or not the Seahawks, the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Tua didn't, do a whole lot, but he's technically 4-0 this season in games he's finished. That's saying a whole lot. I think the Dolphins are going to be great. I think the Dolphins are probably going to be the 5 seed in the playoffs. I think they're going to, beat the 4 seed almost easily, saying it's not the Bills and the Chiefs. Literally any other team. And I think they'll be fine. Number 9, we got the Rams. I'm only moving them up 2 spots because, teams lost. They had a bye week. Number 8, Vikings. They had a bye week. They're staying the same. Number 7, I have the Giants. They come to Jacksonville. They pick up the 23-17 win. They're going up 2 spots. The Giants are 6-1. The Giants. Not just any team. The Giants. The Giants are doing well. And I'm just going to tell you 6-1. They're all staying the same. We got the Cowboys at 6, Bengals at 5, Ravens at 4, Chiefs at 3, Eagles at 2, Bills at 1. All of them staying the same. The Cowboys, they're 5-2. They pick up a 24-6 win against the Lions in Dak's return. Bengals at 5. They pick up a 35-17 win against the Falcons. Joe Burrow went off. Ravens, they pick up a 23-20 win against the Browns. Almost choked it away, but luckily didn't with the blocked field goal. Chiefs at 3. They pick up a great win against the 49ers. The Eagles at 2 and the Bills at 1. They both have bye weeks. I was tempted to swap the Chiefs and the Eagles here, but ultimately I decided to give it one more week. If the Eagles struggle against the Texans and the Chiefs will either win and struggle against a good team or, win, I'll probably put the Chiefs at 3 or 2 and the Eagles at 3. That's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I will see you next time. Tomorrow, predictions. And if I remember, not this week, obviously, and then not next week's one, so not week 9. Actually, is it week 9? We're going into week 8. Right? So maybe it is. Oh, well, I'll just tell you. Whenever the trade deadline is, I don't know if that's week 8 or week 9's. So it could be next one or it could be the one after. I will start doing in power rankings as well. Might be in predictions. Could be in one of those. The playoff picture, just so you know what you guys know, around the halfway point essentially. I want the trade deadline to be done for it. And yeah, goodbye.